Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Ashley. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a glam eye with no foundation. A lot of people think that if you wear a lot of eye makeup, you have to balance it out with the complexion, and you totally don't have to. Makeup has no rules, and if you want to go super natural on the skin and do something glam on the eyes, you totally can, and I'm going to be showing you how to do it today. So if that sounds interesting to you, then just keep on watching, and if you would like to be friends here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really love to have you guys back. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so since this look is going to be a little bit more eye-centered, I'm going to start with my eyes, and I'm going to first prime my lids with my Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. This is a full coverage concealer that is close to my skin tone. So when I'm doing a look like this, where I'm not going to be using any foundation, I will usually opt for a concealer that is more close to my skin tone, because if I choose something that's too light, it's going to be a very stark difference and really obvious. So I want something that's going to look a little bit more natural, and I'm just using this to prime my lids now, but I am going to be going in with this on my face later. This concealer is super great if you have dry skin, and it gives really great coverage as well. And then I'm going to set my lids with my translucent powder. So I'm just going to be using my Thrive Cosmetics Soft Focus HD Setting Powder to set that concealer down. So I'm feeling like doing something a little bit more toasty and warm tone today, so I'm going to go in with my BH Naughty palette. You guys know how much I've been absolutely loving this palette. If you're new to my channel, now you know I have been absolutely obsessed with this. So I'm first going to go in with this nice mustardy yellow color called Misbehave. And I'm just going to start working that on the outer third of my crease. I'm going to work it through my whole crease as my transition, but I really want to focus most of the pigment out here. And then once I have less on the brush, I am going to tilt my head back and sweep it into my crease. Because of my eye shape, I like to apply the pigment a little bit higher on the outer corner, and then make sure I'm not applying it too high once I get towards my inner corner. Okay, so to intensify things a little bit, I'm going to go in with this nice orange shade called Greeting, and I'm just going to be building that up right where I placed the mustard color, but a little bit lower. Again, focusing most of the pigment out here on this outer corner, and I am dragging that down to connect it to my lash line at an angle. Okay, and then lastly, to intensify things even further, I'm going to go in with this nice deep orangey red shade called Panettone. I don't know. Panettone? I'm not sure. And I'm going to take that on a small brush and just start really packing this on out here, focusing most of the pigment closest to the lash line. It's a little bit brighter than I wanted. It's really beautiful, but it's a little bit too light for what I want. So I'm going to go over that actually with the shade. I'm going to go over that with the shade Yuletide right up here, just to deepen it up a little bit. Okay, I'm going back in with the brush that we used with Greeting, and I'm not putting anything else on the brush. I'm just using it to blend. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of Misbehave, which was that mustardy yellow, because I feel like we lost it a little bit, and I'm just adding a bit more to the crease. Again, with the brush we used with Greeting. Okay, I like how that looks. So now comes the fun part. We're going to add some shimmer. I'm going to take a flat brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Spicy, which is this beautiful gold shimmer. Press that in. Then I'm going to spray the brush, and then start working that onto the lid. using pressing motions. I'm gonna try to use my finger. There we go, that's a bit better. I really want this to be nice and intense and reflective. Ooh, this eye look screams summer to me. So excited for the warmer weather. Ooh. And then I'm going back in with the brush. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more of Yuletide. Just work that out here. Blending over the shimmer. And one more time with the same brush I used with grading, I'm just gonna lightly go around those edges. Okay, and then just to more seamlessly blend that spicy shade with Yuletide, I'm gonna go in with Decked Out. And I just put a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm just gonna tap that right on this little meeting point of where the yellow meets the red. Just so it's not so harsh of a difference between that light color and the dark. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly catch this eye up to speed, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I actually want to add a little bit more definition to my lash line. So I'm gonna go in with the deep brown shade in the palette called Hot Cocoa. I'm gonna take that on a little angled eyeliner brush. So it's this shade right here. I just want to tap that along my lash line, just to accentuate that winged out effect we have going. My son's name is Phoenix, and this eye look is definitely reminding me of a beautiful phoenix. Once I get towards the center of my eye, I'm gonna really try to focus this pigment as close to, like, pretty much on top of my lashes, because I don't want to cover up that shimmer really, or take away this lid space, but I am going to be going in with false lashes, so I need something to disguise the band. I feel like this brown color is just helping to ground the look. I really like to do this when I have a lot of color going on, and I just really like, for my eye shape specifically, to have a little bit of a liner here, especially on this outer corner, to just help lift my eyes, since my eyes are a little bit more downturned and hooded. And I like using a powder rather than an actual liner because it's more forgiving. An actual liner is really, really stark, whereas with the powder, if you mess up, you can kind of finagle it a little easier. And since I am going to be applying false lashes, I'm going to tightline. I usually do this, but if you are applying lashes, it's especially important. So I'm taking a dark brown eyeliner. This is my Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner in the shade Simma Brown now, but you can use any brown eyeliner that you like. Okay, and then I'm gonna apply a quick coat of mascara. For that, I'm going to go in with my Causmetics Pick Me Up mascara, curl my lashes. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply my lashes, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I just applied some lashes and I filled in my brows quickly. I went for a more fluffy, bold kind of brow just because I don't want something too like stenciled in. I usually don't do brows like that. I usually always kind of do like the fluffy look, but I feel like especially if you're doing a glam eye with no foundation, I really like to keep the eyes looking very intentional, and then the rest of the face I want to look very, very natural. I just feel like the juxtaposition between a very natural, dewy, understated, fluffy, kind of rough complexion and brow in comparison with the very, very glam and structured eye is just so cool. I'm kind of editorial, so I really, really like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to finish up the eyes, so quickly I'm going to apply some concealer, the same concealer, the Flower Beauty, under my eyes, and I did have a bit of fallout, so I just wiped that away. So with a look like this, I would recommend going in with a concealer that gives you medium coverage at least. You don't want something too light or sheer because you want to be able to conceal those under eye bags, especially if you have a lot going on the eyes. It's going to make it look more clean. So I feel like that's really important. You want to have at least a good medium coverage. If you do have something that's full coverage, it can be a little bit tricky because you don't want a harsh line between like the concealer and your skin. So I feel like medium coverage is the way to go. This Flower Beauty concealer can be full coverage, but I'm going to use a sponge and not really pack it on. So I'm just going to lightly tap this in, and I want to be super careful around this edge. And then towards the inner, I'm going to take my little Morphe M173 brush. I love this brush for concealer. And I'm going to take my sponge and just pat over that and really focus on blending the edges into my skin. Alright, I'm just going to take a touch of that Thrive powder to set my concealer. Alright, now let's finish up these eyes. I want to keep the lower lash line pretty close to my lashes. I'm going in with the mustard yellow called Misbehave on a smudgy brush, and I'm just smudging that very close to my lashes. I don't want to smoke it out too much, I think. We'll see. Okay, and then on a very thin brush, this is the Morphe M432. I'm going to take the shade Greeting, which is that orange, and I'm just going to press that right along my lash line. So I want it to be intense, but I don't want it to be too smoked out. I'm going in with that smudgy brush I used with the yellow color, and I'm not adding any more pigment, but I'm just using it to sort of blend. Okay, and then with the Pantone shade, I'm going to go in with the same brush, Morphe M432, and I'm just going to focus that on like the outer half of my eye, in between the lashes as well. Alright, I like that. Ooh, I think, and then for something fun, I'm going to take this LA Girl Shockwave neon eyeliner, and this is the yellow one. It's in the shade Screamin. It is so bright, my waterline really is going to be screaming at you. Seems really creamy. It's a little difficult to apply to the waterline. You have to go over it a couple times. It looks really cool. It's just, you have to kind of go over your waterline a couple times. I think because it's such a bright, sheer color, it's not super opaque. It glides really easily onto your skin, but not so much the waterline. I really like how it looks though. I mean, it's such a cool way to add some color. Let's apply some lower lash mascara. I'm just going in with the same Pick Me Up mascara. Okay. Let's go in with a primer. So for primer, I've been really loving this Milani Supercharged Dewy Primer, and I'm just going to apply that where I didn't apply concealer. I love this because it gives your skin a nice, healthy, subtle glow. It's not glittery or sparkly at all, but it just makes your skin look nice and plump and radiant. It's like a lotion-y consistency. It smells like citrus a little bit, so be aware of that if you are sensitive to fragrance. But you can see the subtle glow that it gives to your skin. It's really pretty, and it does have a little bit of a tack to it, so it helps your makeup to last longer. I've been really enjoying that. And because I want my skin to look really natural and dewy, I'm going to go in with my Hollywood Flawless Filter. If you don't want to splurge on this, Believe Beauty, which is Dollar General's brand, actually has a really good face primer that I love as well, that you could use instead of this. I'm just going to blend that in with my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. This product is so beautiful. I've talked about it a lot, but it just gives your skin the most healthy, natural, lit from within glow. It doesn't look artificial at all. You can build it up to be super intense, but it also somehow still looks really natural. It's really amazing. I was on the fence of buying this product for so long because it's very expensive, but it's really worth it, especially if you have dry skin. It's so beautiful. Like, look at that. It just looks like you had a facial done or something. It's so pretty. Okay, so since my nose gets a lot of redness, I'm going to go in with some concealer there. And basically, I'm just going to be applying concealer on hyperpigmentation, on any acne scarring or blemishes, dark spots, that sort of thing. But I'm trying to be as selective as possible on where I'm applying this. And then I don't really want to remove the coverage, so I'm just using my Morphe brush to tap it in. Then I'm going to go back over with my sponge and just lightly press that into the skin. For bronzer, I'm going to go with my Tower 28 Bronzino in the shade West Coast. I'm going to take that on my e.l.f. Selfie Ready foundation brush, pat off the excess on the back of my hand, and just start building that up on my cheekbones. This is a really sheer and dewy cream blush. It adds a little bit of a, not sparkle, but definitely a little bit of a sheen. So I really like it for looks like this, where I want the skin to look as fresh as possible. And I feel like it has a little bit of warmth to it. It's not a super cool tone. So since we have a lot of warm tones going on the eyes, it's more of a summery type of look. I think this shade will complement it nicely. If you have more cool tones on the eyes, you can definitely go in with a more cool tone, sort of a bronzer. I feel like I want to bring a little bit right across the top of the cheeks. So I feel like this technique, bringing it across the cheeks and across the nose, makes it look the most natural. If I just applied it on the cheeks and like my blush there, it gives a very lifted, sort of sculpted effect, which is nice. I love doing that too. But for this look, like I said, we want to keep things really natural. So I feel like this technique a little bit more realistic, but do whatever you feel suits your face shape. I just like this one personally. All right, so I want a very creamy bam blush. So I'm gonna go in with my Believe Beauty cream blush, and this is in the shade Tropical Sunset. This is a beautiful corally color, so much pigment. I mean, oh my gosh. And this is only $5, you guys. If you haven't tried this blush, I would definitely recommend scooting over to your nearest Dollar General and picking them up, because they are so pretty and they last a really good amount of time on the skin. They blend easily, and I mean, just look at that color. It's so beautiful. This looks scary now, but we're gonna go in with a sponge and blend it out, so never fear. For highlight, I'm gonna go with my Flower Beauty Day Glow highlighter, and this is in the shade Stunner. We're already pretty glowy, but why not amp it up a little bit more? This is a beautiful cream highlight, and I love to apply this with my finger. It just makes your skin look nice and wet. Okay, I like the glow, but I feel like I'm looking a little bit too dewy. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my powder, just set the T-zone. All right, so let's go ahead and set the brows. I'm gonna go in with my Essence Make Me Brow. This is in the shade 02 Brownie Brows. This has a lot of pigment, so make sure you wipe off the brush. Alright, I want to add a little bit more bronzer. I'm going to go in with a powder bronzer, but I'm going to try to pick something a little bit more radiant. Okay, so I'm going to go with my Hourglass Ambient Luminous Bronze Light. Just want to add a little bit more structure to my face.
How's it going?
Do you want to say hi?
How you doing?
This is my handsome husband.
Love you.
Love you.
You look pretty. I like the orange.
Okay.
That is nice.
Okay, and then to set that cream, I'm going to go in with my Luminous Heaven's Glow Magic Hour Bronze Blush. I like this blush because it is very luminous. So it goes with that natural dewy sort of look we're going for. Then I'm going to take a touch more of that powder. Oh, my powder. I'm just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. It's gonna blend around those edges a little bit. Alright, and for lips, I'm gonna go in with my NYX lip liner in the shade Sandstorm. Where is she? Where is he? He doesn't like the spotlight.
Maybe not.
He's like, get me out. Then I'm gonna take this Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink in the shade Globetrotter, and I just wanna like sheer this out. So I'm just gonna do that and then kind of pat it in. Probably should have exfoliated my lips first, but that's okay, we're all friends here, right? So it just gives like a wash of that burnt orangey color. I really like that. Let's go in with a gloss over top. I'm gonna go with my Essence Shine 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 Clear Lip Gloss. This is the best clear lip gloss, and it's only $3, and it smells like candy. And then to set the face, I'm gonna go with my Wet n Wild Coconut Spray. And then once that's almost dry, I'm just going to go in with my sponge and pat everything in. So yeah guys, this is the finished look. I really love how it turned out. It just goes to show that you can get a very impactful, beautiful look without wearing foundation if you don't want to. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. It would help my channel out so much. And if you'd like to be friends here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you back. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.